Years ago, I had the world in the palm of my hand. I was the #1 buyer of property, not salesperson, buyer of property in Nashville. Before that, I was the #1 buyer of property in Fort Myers, Florida, and also the #1 builder in Fort Myers, Florida. In 2008, I lost everything. I had, of course, the home in Florida with a swimming pool and 2 kids and a wife. I had a house up here in East Nashville right on the golf course on the 10th fairway. Tickets to everything in this town. And flew up and back from Florida like it was going to church on Sunday. I had a car here, I had a car down there. When I lost everything in 2008, I also got divorced. And getting divorced in summer of 2009, well, let me go back a step. 2008, I foreclosed over 100 properties and filed for bankruptcy. 6 months later, I was divorced. And getting a divorce in Florida in August is not recommended to anyone. Because if you're the one that gets kicked out of the house, because I gave her the house, it's awful hot living outside. And I was living in my truck, the same truck that's in the parking lot now that I bought for cash for $50,000 back in '06. I was living in a CVS parking lot with 95 degrees at 2 o'clock in the morning, dying of the heat. Sneaking in pools just to cool off, going across the street to the Perkins Pancakes at 3 o'clock in the morning just to have a cup of coffee just so I can get the air conditioner. I literally started going around to the police officers and asking them where are the other homeless people, because I'm 50 years old and homeless. Nobody should be 50 years old and homeless. You never think, you guys that aren't 50 yet, or that, oh, when you're older, you're set. I thought that too. So now I'm sleeping in my truck in Fort Myers, Florida with nothing. I had property, they were all in foreclosure, but I did have a few pieces of property that had renters in there. Most of those weren't paying either because the bottom dropped out for them too. I finally got one guy out of one of my places, moved into it. I thought I was pretty much set because it had well and septic, and if I can get the electric turned on, I can use the pumps to put water in the house. And so I had the bathroom, I had the air conditioner, I had electric. But unfortunately, they stole my deep well pumps, which cost a couple $100 each. So I couldn't do that. But I did manage to be able to turn my electric on. But to my surprise, I wasn't qualified to turn electric on. I didn't have the deposit money. Now here I had 200 houses that I was applying for electric on a yearly basis. I was buying houses all the time, turning electric on so I could work on them. And here I go get my own house and had no electric. I had to go to the electric company, wait in this big long line with all those other people and beg that I could get a deposit money for my electric. I finally got it on. I lived in my living room of one of my abandoned duplexes with a window air conditioner because they broke the window out, fortunately, and the city boarded it up. I cut a hole out, put a window in there. I was living in there for 5 years, homeless for 5 years. Imagine that. While I was there, I spent most of my days at the church, trying to help out over there. And I said, well, geez, I can't sit around and do nothing. I was working a little bit here and there. Went to my pastor and asked him if I could go to this college. Well, first I had to finish my bachelor's degree, so I spent 1.5 years finishing my business administration bachelor's degree. Graduated in 2009, or 10. Actually walked with a cap and gown. And went for 3.5 more years and got my master's in theology. By the grace of God, I got some job at driving the school bus. I'll never do that again. Driving the bus was great as kids. Got enough money, since I really didn't have any bills. I only had $15 electric bill. I got enough money to drive up to Philadelphia to see my parents. Did a little slide through Nashville, saw my old partner. He told me to come up. He says, Mark, man, we're slamming up here in real estate again. Why don't you come on back up? I said, I'll be here in a month. I finished up my school down there, came right up that following month, and instantly I was making tons of money. I mean, we had cash all over the place. Now I have 4 companies. I start many other companies for other people. I started one for Irina. We started them for all kinds of people. We travel the world, and I sail. So anyone who tells me that they're stuck in this world, believe me, there's a way out. Thank you.